Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally doing another Notion tour. It's been so long and I'm so excited. My Notion has changed so much. Last time I did one of these videos, I was really happy with my setup. I thought there was nothing that was gonna make me change it, but I've had just a few things that I wanted to switch up a little bit. So I can't remember exactly where I was at in this process when I did it like last year, but I think most of it is still the same, but it's like an improved version. There are only a few things that have like really drastically changed, and we're gonna talk about that more as we go in depth into all of my pages, why they are the way they are. I will be using my recording software on my computer and I'll be using my gaming mic, so the audio and the quality of the video will change a little bit. Just a heads up, it's so much easier to edit that way, so I'm just taking the L on the quality a little bit. But yeah, anyways, enough of that, let's go. Okay guys, here we are in my Notion dashboard. This is just the first thing that comes up. I call it my center page. This is basically where I come to center myself, where I come to like refocus on all of my goals. And I did want to be real and show how it looks kind of when I just pull it up, whether it's perfected or not. So it looks like the last time I came on here was January 12th and it's the 15th today. So essentially what that means is I would have these three as the 13th, these three as the 14th, and these three as the 15th, because these are my daily goals. They're automatically reoccurring. So this is just the way that I fix them. It's currently Q1, January, and these would all be week 2. Yesterday was Sunday though, so these would be week 3. And these goals will only go away if I put that they were skipped or completed. That way I always know what I did, because if I don't mark it, then there's a chance when I look back on all of this, I won't know whether I actually did it or not. So I really don't want them to disappear when the next day comes on. So I'm thinking I haven't uploaded TikToks since the 12th. Let's see. No, okay, I actually uploaded one on the 13th and that's it. So obviously not doing super good on my dailies, but it's good to have this just so that I can keep myself in check. So as I said, these are my daily tasks. You can see these tabs here. I have all of my tasks, my daily tasks, my weekly tasks, my monthly tabs, my quarterly tabs, and my previous tabs. And all of these, well, not all of them, but if they are related to a goal, they will relate to the goals, and the goals are down here. We'll talk about them after. But for example, me wanting to hit 10K followers on Instagram. Well, one of the things I feel like I need to do for that is upload to my Instagram story every single day. And for my TikToks, I need to upload a few times a day on those accounts. So this is just how I keep it in tab for my daily goals. And then obviously I'll have more for the week. So once again, like I said, being real with you guys, I clearly haven't updated this. So for this, it's already week 3 of the year and I haven't done that. So let's move it. Same thing for this one and same thing for this one. Now I'm going to change my filter to week 3. Yes, I do this manually. And that's kind of what I was saying about not being the most efficient, but this is just how I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna drag this week filter down so that all of them are week 3. And now this is everything that I want to do this week. And then we're gonna go into monthly. So weekly goals can also be monthly goals. So if they are specified during a certain week, it will come up in that weekly view. But these were the only 2 I haven't seen because these are ongoing throughout the month. Moving on to quarterly, obviously I just went through my January goals. So anything that's in January I would have seen. I know that all of these February goals are the ones that I haven't really looked at yet, so I can just come in and kind of reassess if these are still on for next month, if I need to move some of my January goals into next month, if I want to start planning for March, whatever. And then here's where the fun really is. These are all of my previous goals. Usually the only thing I do when I come in here is just fill in the gaps. The reason why I keep this one is because say I want to see how many times I did this goal. And this is one of my daily goals, so I can see how many times have I been doing this. Well, it looks like I've only done it 5 out of 14 days, so that's not super good. When it gets to like an insane number, so I don't have to count it, I'm just gonna filter it, the completed status, and then do the count. So I'll see I did this 9 times. So that's how I use my previous tab. Moving on, we do have my goals. So most of these are New Year's resolutions, but I do have some other things in there that are kind of just silly, fun things that I've wanted to do. Like, I don't think I had become familiar with all the Taylor Swift songs in my New Year's resolutions. Of course, I can separate them through the quarters, but most of these are just guesses. I don't really know how it's all gonna fall, but yeah, that's pretty much it for my goals and my tasks. Next, we have this little column, and basically this is just my navigation, and I use almost all of these every single day. There are like a couple that aren't super important, but first we have content. So this is my content creation dashboard, and this is where I just keep track of all of my videos. And this one I think is going to be my first template that I do upload. Although the template is going to be a little bit more detailed and a little bit different looking than this, I have like really personalized it to my taste. So first I'll go into the follower trackers. So essentially this was more full last year. If you guys watch any of my reset videos, you'll know what this used to look like. I did change it up a little bit, and I like kind of restarted with the new year. So these are my YouTubes, this is my lifestyle, this is my gaming, same thing for TikTok, lifestyle and gaming, and then my Instagram, I only have 1 account. For computer specs, this is literally just the deets of my computer. I built it myself, so I just need to remember all the pieces of it, because I don't think I would have any way of fully figuring this out without it being written down somewhere. And in case anyone asks, I can always tell them this is what I have. Right here, I have an uploads tracker. My gaming channel has a little bit more because I post more there, but this is essentially just a count of my uploads. I also restarted for this year, so my calendar has nothing else on it except for all my January stuff. And down here, it basically just says what era I'm in for each of my videos. That's just a dumb little way of putting it. But essentially, these are all the videos that are already filmed. They're ready to be edited. These are all the videos that I've brainstormed fully through and they're ready to be filmed. And these are all the videos that I need to be thinking about because they're coming up soon and I really need a script for them. I don't know if you guys can tell from this, but essentially some of these aren't on this bottom part, and that's because I don't want it to be really crowded with stuff that I don't need to be like focusing on. So essentially, I think I have all of these for like the next 2-ish weeks. They're all down here, but like these 3, they're not super important. So like for this one, I have the status as do not show. That basically just means it doesn't come up in any of these, but it still gets to be on my calendar. So once I actually want it on there, I can put it, say in brainstorming, and it'll pop up down here. And I think that's really all for content right now. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. I don't really keep like scripts in here or anything because most of the time I don't need a script. If I do, then yeah, I'll like write one out, but most of the time I don't need one and I just kind of wing it. So yeah, I think that's all. Coming back to our main page, I do have movement next. So this is just my movement calendar. I keep track of any gym days, any runs, any yoga, whatever in here, and there's literally nothing else except a calendar. So you'll see I had today set as a gym day, but I really didn't do anything. But I'll give you guys a real example of how I would do this. So I think I'm gonna go Wednesday. I think this day is gonna be my first run in a while. What this property is right here is literally just my reminder before I go to make sure I have the only things that I need, because every single time for some reason I either forget my watch or my headphones or the right shoes. Or if I'm going with Ryan and I'm not driving my own car, sometimes I'll forget my keys, which has my little check-in QR code on it. So yeah, I usually, if I'm being good that day, I will look at this first and I'll be like, oh yeah, I need all this stuff. But it's also kind of the fact that I forget all of these things that makes me forget to even check this in the first place. So I don't know. And essentially these are all of my options for what I can do. If I ever want to do something before I do my real sets, I have these. And like I said, I am gonna run, but I don't really know what I'm gonna run. It'll probably be a longer run, and right now I would consider a longer run to be somewhere between 3 to 5 miles because I haven't ran in so long. Yes, I used to run like 10 plus, but I don't do that anymore. So right now, somewhere between 3 to 5 is good enough for me. If I would be doing weights, which I might, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to have a general idea, sometimes I don't. What I like about the way I set up this like template is I don't find it restrictive at all. In the past, when I would go to the gym, I would go in and think, I'm going to do this, and it would ruin my vibes if there were too many people there, if I couldn't do certain exercises. For some reason, with the Notion template, it's a lot easier for me to look at everything I can do. So say I'm doing legs and I planned on doing, I don't know, Bulgarians, but all of the benches are taken. Then maybe I'll go do goblet squats instead. I can just literally select as I go, and it tells me the weights I've been doing. Moving on, we have nutrition. So this is basically just my meal plans. Me and Ryan alternate days that we cook dinner. So Wednesday, I'll probably go grocery shopping. So before I go, I'll plan out probably this meal, and this meal. Down here, I have my recipe book, and this is all the stuff that has stuck. I'm not saying that this is everything I've ever cooked or everything that I want to cook, but I usually fancy up all of these pages. So I don't like going through all this effort until I know it's a decent meal, and I like to just rewrite them because I can't process the way that some people write out their recipes. It just doesn't work for me and I'll mess it up. So yeah, I rewrite it so that it works better in my brain. And then down here, I just have other recipes. Like I said, these were just ones that I didn't feel like actually putting into the recipe book, so I just kind of made a separate page off to the side for these. So going down another page, we have downtime, and this is my most recently renovated page. So this is something I'm trying to do with most of my pages. Essentially, if the goal is related to the page, then I just have it up at the top. So these are my downtime goals. This is the book that I want to read, and this is the stuff I want to do in my game. And scrolling down, we have all of my active downtime stuff. So this is a great example. I literally finished Crescent City Book 1 today. So I would put finished, and then I would add in Book 2, House of Sky and Breath, I think is what it's called. But just in case I messed up the format of that, I do have a full database. And here it just shows what I want to read next, what I'm currently reading, and what I'm finished reading. And if it is a series, I just kind of put the abbreviation of the series name and put the corresponding book number in the series out of however many there are in total. I also have ratings individually for each book page, and then if it's checked right here, that means it's one of my favorites. But yeah, this has its own page for favorites, and this one's not as dense because I haven't been reading as much. I just kind of started getting back into it. But if we go to watching, I do have a lot more TV shows that I've watched, and you can see up here I have TV shows and movies in separate categories, but when you have favorites, it does show everything, but it is like kind of separate at the same time between movies and TV. And going back to the main page, we have playing. So this one's a little bit harder to keep tabs on because it's like I'm currently playing a lot of things. Am I like actively playing a lot of things? No, not really. Kind of similar to the other ones, except a little bit different. I still have these categories, so did not finish is just stuff that I don't really have an interest in ever finishing. Can no longer play. I do have to sort this out a little bit better because I added a bunch of like really old kids games in here that I remember playing. So basically, if it was on like the Game Boy or PlayStation, I don't have those anymore, and I don't know that I ever access those games again if they never like remaster it on the Switch or something like that. Then I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm gonna be like, hey, it's dead. But I want it in this database because sometimes I have like memories of old stuff that I played, and it really bothers me if I can't remember it. And I really don't have like a lot of games that really throw me off. I have a lot that I have as DNF, but yeah, I do really want to go back and look at those older games and see if I want to play them again. So that's all for downtime. Let's go back. And then we have home. Now you would think home would be my dashboard, but it's actually my house page. So kind of what I said earlier, I really just wanted a separate database that specified what I was doing in the house because it's such a big deal to me right now. But this one's not really done at all. I don't have anything in most of these pages. Finances is empty, purchases is empty, cleaning is empty. I only have renos, and that's only because I had to get them off of my brain. But I do plan on filling these out soon enough. I've had a lot of time to fix my Notion, so like I've been preparing for this tour for a while, but the house is so new. It's only been a month, so I haven't really fixed that up the way I want to. Next we have guidance. So this is just my bigger goals page. I keep my New Year's resolutions, my monthly goals, and my bucket list essentially all in here. So yeah, like I said, this is a bucket list, pretty self-explanatory. Monthly goals, I only have January in here. Resolutions, this is just what I have for 2024. You guys have seen this. My archive is where I hold everything from previous years. Next thing I have is universes. I'm not going to show any of this, but essentially I've been wanting to get back into writing. It's been a long time, but she's coming back. She's trying, she's struggling. Essentially, I've just been putting my brainstorming pages in here, and I don't know, maybe I'll actually like put the stories in here. Usually I just use Google Docs, so I don't think it's gonna happen, but I would like to keep my brainstorming in here. Lastly, on this page, we have travel. So this one's one of my favorites. I think this was mostly the same from my last Notion tour. We have itineraries, so I still haven't fixed this from the last time. This is like very much the style I had before this one. But yeah, like for Devil's Tower in South Dakota, I have like the plans for the day and these little toggles, and then I have my outfit for the day. And then I also have packing lists as well, which is self-explanatory, but in my actual like travel page, I do have all the locations that I want to go to, and if I've ever been to them, they just move to the scene page. And any of these with a star, those would be like my absolute must-sees. Moving back into the main page, that's pretty much everything. The only other thing I have is down here, I have a little like tab divider that says templates, and then like I said, I'm working on a content creation template, and it has the P that just means it's going to be paid, and I'll have all of my F's for free. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. That was literally my entire life, essentially, in like 45 minutes. It's kind of crazy that I can break myself down to that small, but it's honestly true. Like, this is everything. This is pretty much everything you need to know about me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you did enjoy this. If you did, be sure to leave it a like and a comment, and if you're feeling generous, you can even subscribe. I do hope to see you guys all in the next video, which should be uploaded next week, but if not, bye-bye!